Welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio from Stewards Planning Group. Stewards Planning Group is a company that specializes in helping you build purposeful retirement plans, custom plans that not only help clients steward their treasure, but also their time and talent as well. They believe if you're taken care of financially, you can go even further to make the family, community, and kingdom impact you truly desire to make, which is the ultimate purpose of wealth. If you'd like to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with one of their financial advisors, please give them a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting at stewardsplanning.com, or you can simply stop by their office on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. I'm your host, Ben Taatjes, and joined again in studio with one of our talented advisors, Matt Hoekstra. How are you today?
Great.
Hey, good. It's fun to have you in the office again. You know, our episode last week, which was actually our first episode of Money Mindset with Matt Hoekstra, was so popular. We had so many people that were commenting on it, and I thought, let's just do two, just to kind of get this thing going. Normally, we're going to bring this kind of episode to our listeners once a month, but this month, good for you. We get two of these shows to our listeners, and some of that is also with the preparation of some of the final details around the big beautiful tax bill that we're kind of working on, kind of finalizing for next week's show. That'll be there. We'll have Tim Mattern or Claire Molden in the studio for that. So, Matt, we want to talk about money mindset today with you, and kind of the trend that we're seeing of parents giving more money to kids earlier. Now, it's a trend that I kind of like. I mean, I think I like to see parents using their money sooner for giving to their kids when the kids can use it. But talk a little about the trend, kind of what we're seeing lately, and what you've seen working with some of your clients.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this trend, and it's also supported by research done by Merrill Lynch. So Merrill Lynch did a study, and 63% of parents they interviewed had given their kid a substantial gift already. And the main reason was they wanted to have the joy of watching their kids use that while they were still alive. And we've seen that major shift in our office as well. I think the older generations that maybe went through the Depression, their view of money, not always, but generally was, we're going to keep it tight to our chest. We're not going to tell the kids what's going on. We're going to live our life, and then they can deal with it when we're gone. And the shift has been, well, it brings us a lot more joy to watch our kids use it in a healthy way while we're still alive. So, you know, that's one reason. Just general gift giving statistic. There was a study done by Harvard, and they gave somebody $5 they could give away, or they gave them $20 they could spend on themselves. And the gift, when the participants took the $5 and gave it away, they experienced far more joy than spending $20 on themselves. So there's neuroscience behind gift giving as well. And so I think that's a big reason why we're seeing a shift.
Yeah, I love that. I think just getting back to, people giving and enjoying the gift to their kids while they're living. I mean, I think, we know that dead people can't give money away, right? It just doesn't work. So I think when you're able to see the joy, see the impact from any giving while you're living, I tend to like that, far more as well. And I know the statistic that we shared last week was, I think it's 64 years old is the average inheritance today, where people actually receive money from their parents. And, a lot of that comes from, how you viewed money as a kid. And one of the things I love a question I've heard you ask our clients is, tell me about, what was money like for you as a kid? And I love that one because it does tie into, kind of how we view money for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think as the generations have gone as a whole, I mean, I don't want to speak out of pocket here, but as a whole, I think money has come a bit easier as the generations have gone. And so as that money comes easier, your relationship to it and how you deal with it changes. But I think one of the things that we really have to be careful with in that is not giving kids money too early. So just a few statistics here. 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation.
Second generation. A third of young adults who inherited money spent it within 2 years.
All of it. And 70% of trust fund kids interviewed reported difficulty finding purpose and motivation. So if we give kids money before they have their relationship with it established, it's very dangerous for them. And most parents want that to be a blessing. They want their wealth to be a blessing to their kids. I had a discussion with a client, and I said, "What do you want with your wealth?" And he said, "I want my kids to take it and continue to grow it so it can be a blessing for many generations." And that's the idea, is having it be a blessing.
Yeah, never pass money without wisdom, right? I mean, it's just that it doesn't do any good. In fact, many times we see it do more harm than good when people pass money without the wisdom and how to handle it. So that's part of stewardship, right? On this show, we're always talking stewardship and how do you prepare the next steward. So Matt, what can you do? Let's say you're kind of going through this. You want to see some of the gift giving. You want the enjoyment from that. And you've heard that, yes, sometimes there's problems with that. What can we do to make sure that the well-intended gift is actually ends up as a positive?
Yeah, I think the first thing we can do is start young. Research shows that kids have a very their view of money starts to form very solidly by the age of 7, which was shocking to me because I have 2 6-year-olds and a 9-year-old, and it's shocking to me to think that they're already shaping their views of money at that age. So I think start young, model early, teach them about money, and really after that, you have to make sure that your kids can stand on their own 2 feet. As again, having 2 6-year-olds and a 9-year-old, as a dad, I don't want them to go through pain. I want to step in and solve their problems because I want them to have the most enjoyable life. But when I look back at my own life, and I'm sure you could say the same thing, early on when you get out of college, you bump your head a few times and you learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. And that's where you really get your view of money solidified. And so, make sure that your kids can stand on their own 2 feet, and that, if you think to yourself, I'm going to give them a massive gift and they're going to blow it rather than use it to, further their own situation, that might be an indication that they're not quite ready for that yet.
Yeah. One last thing, Matt, how big, we were talking before going on the show and just earlier, how big a deal is gratitude? What does gratitude do in kind of this whole money mindset thing for especially our kids?
Yeah. So it really is the antithesis or the antidote to entitlement. If you think about the entitled kids that you see or the entitled adults that you see, they really don't have gratitude towards anything. And so if we can teach our kids at a young age to be thankful, even for, a waiter bringing them their food in a restaurant, simple things like that, it really teaches them the value of, the things going on around them. That is a huge way to make sure that entitlement doesn't creep in.
Love it, Matt. Love it. And again, great show today. Again, talking about money mindset with Matt Hoekstra. And look forward to many more of these. And from all of us at Stewards Planning Group, until next week, steward well.
Do you need help stewarding your time, your talent, or your treasure? If so, Stewards Planning Group can help. Now is the time to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting. You can do this one of 3 ways. Number 1, give them a call right now at 222-4236. You can request a meeting online at stewardsplanning.com, or you can just stop by their office located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. We'll see you next time.
Securities offered through Avantax Investment Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through an Avantax affiliated insurance agency.